In this report, we dissect Marape's legacy since 2019. It's going to hit you hard, PNG trends burner style. We spotlight the key issues that have shaped Marape's tenure as Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea. From the tragic deaths of MPs and the economic fallout from the Porgera mine closure to the chaos of Black Wednesday and the fuel crisis, we cover it all. We'll also examine the ambitious yet controversial Connect PNG program, the scandal involving election-related cash, and the unfulfilled promises to the youth. Also, we'll scrutinize the rising cost of living, the challenges of the National Identification NID Program, and the management of COVID-19 funds. Buckle up, this is a deep dive into Marape's legacy, you won't want to miss a single detail. Let's get started. 1. MPs' deaths, Marape's legacy. Between 2019 and 2024, Papua New Guinea saw the deaths of 16 members of parliament under Prime Minister James Marape's leadership. The average age of the deceased officials was around 58 years, and the primary causes of death were non-communicable diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Compared to the previous administration, which saw the deaths of 10 MPs, this number is significantly higher. This situation highlights the need for prioritizing the health of elected officials and the general population, requiring robust public health initiatives and thorough investigations into the underlying causes of this crisis. Despite the rising health concerns, Marape's administration did not increase funding for public health programs, which could have mitigated the impact of non-communicable diseases. The rate of these diseases among MPs increased by 15% during Marape's term, reflecting a broader national health crisis. 2. Losses at Porgera mine. The Porgera gold mine ceased operations in 2020, but negotiations for a new lease were completed in 2023, resulting in the mine reopening. Production is set to resume in the first quarter of 2024. When the mine was operational, it employed approximately 2,500 workers and 500 contractors. The closure had negative effects, including job losses and financial difficulties for local businesses.
Elizabeth Since this my name closed down time long and big la bara mipla film. Time me to mipla film. Big la income low as place and through low work employment lo mine. Na too low royalty, too low land compensation, all that is la. Though you can get all nice colorful all policy blue, but you true you can't no bad thing blue or you let take back Porgera. You let take back Porgera, okay, one in plain blue. Time man shut down. You put him something in place law. At least is him this problem lo go through. No God, zero. Prime Minister, I am not afraid to tell you right now. Let the nation know, let the world know that you are neglecting the people of Porgera. For how long are we going to suffer? Stop neglecting us. Stop removing our rights. Enough is enough.
Around 4,000 jobs were lost. A 2022 report indicated that local contractors and businesses lost around 110 million kina. The Enga provincial government reported a loss of over 70 million kina, and the overall economic impact was estimated at 1.08 billion kina. This was never recovered. The closure of the Porgera mine exacerbated an already struggling economy, which was facing a downturn due to global market fluctuations. Marape's government provided limited support to the affected workers, with only 20% receiving financial aid. The new lease agreement includes provisions for increased local employment and environmental safeguards, aiming to prevent past issues.
Mr. Marape, how you put down the same down?
3. Black Wednesday. On January 10, 2024, Port Moresby experienced Black Wednesday, marked by chaos and despair. The main cause? A police pay glitch.
Wednesday 10th January 2024 marked a dark day in PNG's history. Our capital city of Port Moresby came under siege. In an unprecedented action, police protested their pay cuts and our national parliament was stormed, Manasupe House was breached, and the city was pillaged and burnt.
Frenzied mobs took control of public spaces, setting buildings ablaze and looting supermarkets. The absence of law enforcement left citizens vulnerable, resulting in confirmed deaths and injuries. Businesses suffered significant losses, tarnishing the country's reputation as a safe haven for investment. One shop owner described the scene as utter chaos, with looters breaking into stores and setting fires. The pay glitch was symptomatic of deeper issues within the finance department, including outdated payroll systems and lack of oversight. Prime Minister James Marape personally witnessed the anarchy as disgruntled citizens stormed the gates of the Manasupa House, his office. The events of Black Wednesday have left a lasting scar on Port Moresby's business community, with many investors now wary of the city's stability. Businesses are still struggling to recover, and the long-term impact on the investment climate remains uncertain. 4. Fuel crisis. The fuel crisis in Papua New Guinea peaked in 2024, stemming from a 1999 agreement granting Puma Energy a monopoly on fuel importation and distribution until 2027. The agreement, intended to stabilize fuel prices and ensure consistent supply, led to significant disruptions in businesses, transportation, and essential services. Prime Minister James Marape invoked the Essential Services Act and granted emergency powers, resulting in widespread fuel shortages throughout the country. Marape's government implemented rationing measures and prioritized fuel distribution to essential services, but these actions were insufficient to prevent widespread shortages. The crisis will likely be a lasting legacy of the Marape government, shaping future dealings with fuel supply to prevent similar shortages.
Yes, we can't strictly blame Puma. Puma has been constricted, if that is the right word, by the availability of forex, and so they have an issue with long-term security of consistent forex supply, by our country's laws, we're not entitled to compel a bank to keep an account, and if a bank wants to close an account, then that's the bank's choice. But a state will deploy the use of provisions under Essential Services Act for us to ensure we are able to store fuels to keep our airlines and keep our motor vehicles and our machineries running. So ability to invoke provisions of our Essential Services Act to ask those who have facilities.
The crisis underscores the need for diversifying fuel import sources and investing in alternative energy solutions to reduce dependency on a single supplier. 5. Connect PNG Program. The Connect PNG program in Papua New Guinea aims to build and maintain 16,000 kilometers of roads to enhance connectivity and economic growth. It provides local employment opportunities and promises sustained infrastructure development over 20 years. However, concerns regarding transparency, legal adherence, and efficient fund management have been raised. Critics argue that the PNG Road Fund Board lacks transparency, with allegations of mismanagement and favoritism in fund allocation. The establishment of the PNG Road Fund Board and Connect PNG Development Trust Fund has faced criticism, with the opposition labeling the program a con act.
Prime Minister Peter O'Neill's recent media statement has shed light on concerning aspects of the Connect PNG program, alleging significant irregularities and questionable practices. O'Neill has revealed documents provided by concerned public servants which indicate substantial payments made to individuals closely associated with Prime Minister James Marape, including his blood relative Moses Palipe. According to O'Neill, Palipe's company, Ipwens Construction, has been awarded contracts totaling over 3.5 billion kina and has received payments exceeding 743 million kina within the span of 8 months. And East Sepik Governor Alan Bird has voiced his apprehensions regarding the governance of the Connect PNG program. Bird has questioned the constitutionality of the program, citing Section 209 of the Constitution, which safeguards future revenues for subsequent generations and aims to protect citizens from political overreach.
Leaked documents show the involvement of a company linked to the Prime Minister, James Marape, which received substantial funds, has raised suspicions of nepotism and corruption. 6. Marape and election-related cash. In 2019, Papua New Guinea's Prime Minister, James Marape, confirmed that police and defense personnel arrested his son along with 4 others in connection with a suitcase containing $440,000 found at Tau Airport in Hila Province.
Without the use of that funding, whatever it is, I don't know exact amount to the last toy, because it's not my money, it's something that belongs to the company. So for me, something that comes out of it, Papua New Guineans should see, because my son was also in the mix. As I said, he was part of
the suitcase containing $440,000, $1.7 million kina, was discovered during a routine security check, leading to the arrest of Marape's son and 4 others. Marape stated that though his son had an association with the money, he had nothing to do with it. The incident sparked public outrage and calls for a thorough investigation, but the case was quickly closed, leading to accusations of a cover-up. There were questions raised due to the large sum and its link to a company owned by Marape's half-brother. The carrying of a large amount of cash in a briefcase by Marape's relative raised concerns that quickly dissipated. It is a wonder how authorities turned a blind eye to this case. This incident has cast a shadow over Marape's commitment to transparency and anti-corruption, raising questions about the integrity of his government.
Sunday morning, you are ma. Sunday morning, I am blah blah blah. I am blah sigan. Leg am blah walkabout. You blah Same to me talking me say. And I blah sigan blah me. You will give money and I really am must. You move my account blah me. I let me give money to that.
7. Unfulfilled promises to youths. The legacy of Prime Minister James Marape is characterized by unfulfilled promises, particularly in the area of job creation for unemployed youths. Marape promised to create 100,000 jobs for youths by 2022, but this target was not met.
To those who are unengaged youths out there, we will set up an officer in your district, a coordinating point in your provinces for the volunteers. Don't come to Ley or Hagen or Port Moresby. Remain put in your districts. Find out who is the coordinator for the National Volunteer Services in your district or province and list your name. This year we will be delivering census and a common role update. You can be mobilized as part of that program. And in that mobilization, once you're registered, you're identified, we link you to continue learning, we link you to SME space for you to do something productive in life. To all our youths out there, I point to you this place. We will come to you through National Volunteer. We'll come to you through the program that we want to do in as far as mobilizing you, and hopefully together all our youths can be engaged in a productive activity going forward into the future.
Despite his commitment to addressing unemployment, tangible outcomes are lacking, leading to questions about the government's employment strategy. Programs like the Youth Employment Scheme were underfunded and poorly managed, leading to their ineffectiveness.
The former Prime Minister said you are giving false hope to the youths. Any comments on this? Thank you.
On the issues of promise to the youths, we've been carrying this problem for many years. To indicate to the youths in our country, don't believe in hogwash by people who had opportunity. The former Prime Minister had 8 years to make some intervention in the youth sector. I want to speak to our youths, don't feel you are left out. We've made commitment to find you.
The unfulfilled promises have eroded public trust and raised concerns about governance. Some have criticized Marape's perceived ineffectiveness and called for his replacement, questioning why he remains in office despite shortcomings for over 5 years. 8. High price of goods and services. The rising cost of living in Papua New Guinea is a significant concern for citizens due to factors such as supply chain disruptions, currency depreciation, and surging demand. Supply chain disruptions due to global trade issues and local logistical challenges have significantly increased the cost of importing goods. There's a call for targeted policy adjustments to address price hikes and proactive investments in local industries. Despite the rising costs, the government has not implemented effective price control measures or provided subsidies to ease the burden on citizens. Non-responsiveness from the government has been criticized, particularly in light of a presentation on the issue in Parliament by Alan Bird.
Papua New Guineans, the lowest income earners were earning 3 kina 50 an hour, and that equates to 28 kina per day. Even now, 5 years later, our lowest income earners are making 28 kina per day. This tin of fish, which most Papua New Guineans eat every day, low income earners, used to cost 5 kina 50 in 2019. This morning, it's 7 kina 50 in Port Moresby. In other parts of the country, it's more than 7 kina 50. This packet of rice used to cost 4 kina 50. Today, it's 6 kina in Port Moresby, and in other parts of Papua New Guinea, in Isipik, it's up around 7 kina. This packet of noodles used to be 80 toya. It's now 1 kina 20. Some parts it's a kina 50. This packet of biscuits used to be 80 toya. It's now 1 kina 20 in Port Moresby. This constitutes what most Papua New Guineans eat at dinner time. If you add this up, if they have 2 meals a day, it's already more than the 28 kina that the low-income Papua New Guineans, our people, are making. All market mama, all is resident over the day, lo table market blol, just to get enough money to buy these very basic items.
Down in price, calm down. Calm down. You bloody me talking now, be a me blood money again. Mina, me blood scheme, Muslim, and blood of City Yarma.
9. Challenges of the National Identification NID Program. The Marape government allocated over $20 million for the NID program to register all citizens and issue photo ID cards. The NID program aimed to streamline government services and improve national security by providing every citizen with a unique identification number. However, only 500,000 out of 8 million people were registered due to technical issues and corruption. Technical issues included frequent system crashes and data entry errors, while corruption involved officials embezzling funds and demanding bribes for faster processing. The bureaucrat overseeing the scheme was accused of stealing millions, and citizens had to bribe officers to expedite applications.
I got rid of the former registrar and appointed Michael from the Department of National Planning to go down because of the long queues, the 2 years she's taking to issue ID card, and all the chronic problems associated with the ID card issue. And I'm now happy to report to the nation after the appointment of Michael to be the new head of the office. Over 5 years, we were only able to produce 145,000 cards. In the last 3 months, we produced 112. In only 3 months.
The failure of Marape's government to effectively register a significant portion of the population has raised concerns about the efficiency of the NID program.
We have now just crossed over the 3 million mark. One is fantastic news for the 28th of April 2023.
The failure of the NID program has hindered the government's ability to plan and deliver services effectively, exacerbating issues of governance and public trust. 10. COVID-19 funds management. In 2020, Prime Minister James Marape directed 20% of the District Services Improvement Program funds, DSIP, allocated to MPs for development projects, to be spent on health. An additional 2 million kina was provided for COVID-19 response. However, concerns arose about the allocation of these funds.
Of COVID-19 funds was in the control of government ministers and MPs. A leaked audio during that time has now resurfaced.
500 million of that money and we control that. So anyway, money project happening, so let's find a number to only 60 or 50, 60, we will document, we control the money.
The history of mishandling similar projects and lack of transparency in MPs' discretion raised significant worries. Reports revealed funds distribution on an isolated island near Port Moresby. The poor acquittal records of DSIP funds, combined with suspended transparency measures for the pandemic response, heightened the risk of misuse, including the COVID-19 funds. This mismanagement has further eroded public trust in Marape's administration. And there you have it, a comprehensive and unflinching look at James Marape's tenure as Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea. From the tragic losses of MPs to the economic and social upheavals, we've covered the critical moments that have defined his leadership. As we conclude this deep dive, it's evident that Marape's legacy is a complex mix of ambition, controversy, and unmet challenges. The challenges faced and the decisions made during his term will continue to affect Papua New Guinea's future. Stay informed and engaged with PNG Transburner. Subscribe and follow us for more in-depth analyses and exclusive insights like this. Don't miss out, subscribe now and be part of the conversation shaping Papua New Guinea's future. Let's keep the dialogue going. What are your thoughts on Marape's tenure? Share your views and join the discussion.